Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're responding to a distress call and finding 10 things to know before playing the Dead Space Remake. For this list, we'll be looking at all the changes EA Motive is making to the horror classic, as well as shooting the limbs off of our favorite new features. Are you excited for the Dead Space Remake? Do you hope they make a remake of Dead Space 2, or would you rather see a brand new entry in the franchise? Suit up your rig and let us know down in the comments. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The basics. Sadly, the original developers of the Dead Space series are no more after EA unceremoniously shuttered them in 2017. But one of their most well-known and respected IPs is being resurrected by EA Motive with a remake built from the ground up using EA's own proprietary Frostbite engine, and has a scheduled release date of January 27th, 2023. The game will tell mostly the same story of Isaac and his crew investigating the USG Ishimura and Isaac's search for his girlfriend Nicole, while all hell literally unfolds around them. Reportedly, the team at EA Motive will be re-adding content cut from the original game's release back in 2008, so even longtime fans can have a few surprises to look forward to. Next gen only. As the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles wrap up their second year on the market, we're approaching almost 2 years of near consistent cross-gen releases. But thankfully, as the consoles' third year approaches, we could be seeing progress towards true next-gen gaming, with more releases becoming PS5 and Xbox Series exclusives. The Dead Space Remake is one such title making its 9th gen only debut, and will be available exclusively for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles, taking full advantage of the advanced hardware under the hood to improve not only the visuals, but also updating the audio and gameplay experience, as well as making impressive use of all the advancements in the industry since the game's original release 15 years ago. No microtransactions.
That did it. And there's a bench on the same circuit.
Bench?
With all the parts lying around here, I bet I can make a better weapon than this one.
We'll be the first to admit, it's pretty sad that this even needs to be an entry. But after the disastrous implementation of microtransactions in Dead Space 3, which, coupled with its unnecessary co-op and focus on more action over horror, made it one of the worst received entries in the franchise. While the implementation of the workbench was a nice idea, giving players more freedom to customize their weapons, the egregious push towards buying components was unforgivable. Thankfully, over the years, EA seems to have learned from past mistakes, we can only hope anyways, and the Dead Space Remake will feature no microtransactions whatsoever. However, this is a line we've fallen for before from big AAA publishers, so just take this one with a grain of salt for the time being, and hope for the best.
Humanity will be made fools to talk, with or without you.
Atmospheric audio. Along with improvements in graphical technology with each generational leap, comes new technology and features for all you audiophiles out there. The Dead Space Remake is taking full advantage of the advancements of 3D audio to create one of the most immersive and terrifying horror video game experiences ever made. With the right setup, players will be able to pinpoint exactly where the skittering sounds are in the walls, and from what direction the eerie howls of the necromorphs are coming from long before you can see them. Which could be for the better or worse depending on your anxiety level. For those wanting the best experience, a set of 3D audio headphones is going to be an absolute necessity. Terrifying tweaks. While the teams at EA Motive are committed to retelling the same compelling and horrifying story found in the original, they are making some tweaks to keep players on the edge of their seat and in constant fear of the unexpected. Certain encounters will be altered so that even die-hard fans won't be sure of what to expect, as well as the aforementioned addition of the previously cut content, while also expanding on the established lore to make a more cohesive experience from start to finish. So far, all the changes being made are for the better and will make sure that while in space no one can hear you scream, your neighbors certainly can. Isaac speaks.
Can you handle it alone?
Sure. Fix the centrifuge, get the fuel running, then do a full restart. But you'll need to stabilize our orbit from there.
Standing by. Fast as you can, Isaac.
In the original Dead Space, Isaac never spoke, acting as an avatar for the player to explore the slowly collapsing ship. This changed in the sequels, however, and Isaac was given more than just a voice, he was given a personality along with it. In the Dead Space Remake, not only is Isaac going to be fully voiced with dialogue written specifically for the remake to expand on Isaac's role in the escape from the Ishimura, but Isaac's voice actor from Dead Space 2 and 3, Gunnar Wright, is reprising his role, helping add additional depth to Isaac's everyman character, forced into an unprecedented nightmare from which he has to survive.
Nicole? I'm here. Nicole! Damn it.
Alive. In EA Motive's pursuit for complete and total immersion in the nightmare hellscape that is the USG Ishimura, the team is implementing what they call the Alive system, which stands for Adrenaline, Limbic System Response, Intelligent Dialogue, Vitals, and Exertions. This new system will dynamically affect how Isaac delivers his lines. Whether he's calm or his heart rate is accelerated due to a recent encounter, his breathing will become labored and the player will be able to hear Isaac's exasperation in his delivery, as well as see it in his movements should his health get too low. The way Isaac interacts with other characters will also depend on the situation, and his gasps and wheezes while speaking will let players know how exhausted or frustrated Isaac truly is, as the team has taken everything from Isaac's in-game BMI and his age into account when determining how strenuous each interaction would be for poor Isaac. One shot.
Decontamination sequence complete. Thank you for your patience.
As we've already touched on, EA Motive is taking great strides to ensure that this is the most immersive horror experience possible, and that includes no breaks whatsoever for the player, as the Dead Space Remake will now take place in one continuous shot, much like 2018's God of War. With already no pause screen to speak of due to the game's limited HUD always being present on screen, the tension will be insurmountable for those looking for a breather between encounters. This new approach also means that sections such as the train that would transport Isaac to different sections of the Ishimura are no more, and players will now be able to travel from one end of the ship to the other uninterrupted.
Warning. Orbital position compromised. Correct course immediately.
Peeling.
So at the moment, the flesh out of the bones of the enemy, and to give you a good sense not only of
Shoot the limbs is a phrase all fans of the Dead Space series know all too well. While attacking the body barely slows the necromorphs down, shooting off their individual limbs or tentacles will limit their attacks to a literal crawl or sometimes outright kill them. This system is also being revamped and expanded upon for the remake, with what EA Motive is calling their peeling system. Instead of simply shooting off the limbs individually, when Isaac attacks an encroaching necromorph, his shots will quite literally peel the flesh from the bone, revealing multiple layers of muscle and tissue, and oftentimes requiring multiple shots in order to take off a single limb. With ammo already in short supply, each encounter becomes far more strategic, as every shot needs to be carefully planned for maximum effectiveness. Intensity Director. As if things weren't already scary enough, EA Motive has also created a new system to keep the tension at an all-time high throughout the entirety of gamers' playthrough of the remake with their new Intensity Director. The role of the Intensity Director is to keep the player constantly on edge, systematically changing environments the player has already explored by adjusting ambient lighting, adding volumetric fog, and setting up an ambush of necromorphs for sections of the ship the player believed had already been cleared. The intention is to keep the player always on high alert, never knowing what the game could throw at them next to keep their anxiety at maximum for the entirety of their playthrough. Couple the Intensity Director with the game's new atmospheric audio, and even those with nerves of steel could end up needing a break to steady themselves before facing whatever new nightmare awaits them around the next hallway. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.